Roughly 70% of store-bought bread in the US is packed with chemicals that are straight up banned in Europe and Australia. That daily loaf you're eating, it's basically just a cocktail of synthetic additives. A ton of these toxic ingredients are illegal everywhere else, but somehow still completely fine in the US, which is honestly wild. So to help you protect yourself, I'm breaking down what these chemicals actually are, the brands abusing them so you know what to skip, and the ones that are actually safe to buy. Do yourself a favor and memorize these ingredients so you can double check the label next time you hit the bread aisle. First up, ADA. What in the world even is this stuff? Let me break it down for you. If your family is eating ballpark hot dog buns, Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches, or sliced bread from Bimbo, Butternut, and the like, you are basically chewing on a yoga mat every single day. Why do I say that? It's all because of ADA, short for azodicarbonamide. This is an industrial chemical used to make shoe soles and yoga mats because it gives them that soft, springy elasticity. And sadly, it's used in your bread for that exact same reason, to make it squishy and bouncy. So why do food companies use it? Simple. It's dirt cheap, but it is insanely bad for your body. When ADA is baked at high temperatures, it breaks down into urethane and semicarbazide, two compounds linked to lung and blood vessel tumors. Because of how dangerous it is strictly banned in food across Europe and Australia. In Singapore, violating this ban can actually land you in prison for up to 15 years. Yet here in the US, the FDA still lets companies throw it in our food. Honestly, I don't even know what to say to these guys anymore. Look, I'm not here to throw shade at the FDA. Maybe they have their reasons. But as someone who actually gives a damn about my health, I actively avoid or completely cut out any bread made with this stuff. And honestly, you should too. Besides the ADA, there are two other highly controversial the US still allows while the rest of the world locks them down. Stay tuned, because right after this, I'm dropping a list of my favorite safe, clean bread brands that don't use any of these. Next up is datum. It's used to make bread soft, fluffy, and shelf-stable for weeks on end. Plus, it's super useful during mass production. Think of it like an industrial glue. It binds water and oil together so the dough doesn't fall apart under the heavy beating of factory machinery. Sounds convenient, right? Except datum is terrible for your body. Research shows that consuming this stuff is like dumping detergent straight into your gut. It erodes your protective intestinal lining, sparks chronic inflammation, and leads to leaky gut syndrome. If you walk down the bread aisle right now and grab some of the most popular brands off the shelf, you will see DATEM sitting right there on the ingredient list. Popular brands like Sara Lee Artisano, Wonder Bread, Sunbeam, and Thomas's English Muffins all contain significant amounts of DATEM. So double check those labels before you consider buying them. And finally, the absolute final boss of toxic additives, potassium bromate. Countless countries have outright banned this stuff, but somehow the great United States still hasn't. It's a powerful oxidizing agent that companies dump into flour to make dough rise higher and keep that bright, bleached white look. It is ridiculously dangerous. The International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC, classifies potassium bromate as a Group 2B carcinogen, meaning it's a known potential cancer-causing agent in humans. On top of that, multiple animal studies have linked it to tumor growth in the kidneys, thyroid, and peritoneum. Food companies love to claim that it completely bakes off during the cooking process. Do not fall for that. Independent testing routinely catches dangerous levels of leftover potassium bromate sitting right there in the finished product on grocery store shelves. That's why it's completely banned not just in Europe and Australia, but also in Canada, Brazil, China, and India. Yet insanely, everywhere in the US outside of California still allows it in your food. Honestly, it's pretty disgusting. This just goes to show, just because something is sitting on a store shelf doesn't mean it's actually safe to eat. You have to take responsibility for your own body, do your research, and steer clear of toxic ingredients. From now on, before you throw a loaf of bread in your cart, check the label for these 3 ingredients. If you see any of them, put it right back. Instead, look for ultra-safe options like sprouted grain bread. It's made from whole grains that are allowed to sprout before being ground into flour. This natural sprouting process completely breaks down phytic acid, an anti-nutrient found in raw grains that blocks your body from absorbing iron and zinc. That way, your body actually gets the full nutritional benefits without the bloating or chronic inflammation. Ezekiel 4.9 and Silver Hills are 2 incredible sprouted bread brands that are definitely worth checking out. Or if you can, go for sourdough. Authentic, traditional sourdough is made with just 3 simple ingredients: flour, water, and salt. 0 artificial chemicals. It's super clean and ridiculously good for your gut.